competition day in the European Youth Championships 2018, the girls' doubles event, squad 1. 6 games in front of you, and you're moving 2 lanes right, 2 lanes left in this squad. Do not move until you hear the sound of the whistle, and do not start again the next game until you hear it again. For the guests available here in the bowl, this is the last day if you want to buy an extra banquet ticket. We need to send the numbers to the hotel tomorrow, so this is the last day for that possibility. Girls, 10-minute practice.
Dámy a pánové, dobrý den.
is over, ladies. As I said, it's 6 games, moving to right, to left. We are not ready yet. You wait, please. We are ready. Good luck.
Good morning from Aalborg. We are getting ready to start the girls doubles first squad. I'm Thomas Larsen. I'm gonna be your commentator for the day for the next 12 hours or so. So please enjoy. Gonna start down on 15 and 16, where we have the Danish team and the Finnish team. I watched a little bit of practice this morning, and looks like there's quite a few good girl doubles this morning. So I think we're gonna see some pretty good scores. If you have any questions during the day you want me to answer or talk about, send me a message on Facebook or via my Facebook page, Thomas Larsen Bowling. I'll try to get everything answered and make everyone happy. Otherwise, just enjoy the bowling today and cheer for your team. This year we're bowling on a 39, or the girls are bowling on a 39-foot kegel pattern. It's fairly challenging build up in the pattern, so I don't expect any huge scores, which we didn't see either. We didn't see any really big scores yesterday with the boys, but at the same time, this time of year in Aalborg, the lanes usually play a little bit easier because of the topography. So I think we can see, we should be able to see some decent scores and some pretty big games now and then. So the girls better be ready this morning, and looks like they are. Down on 15-16, where we have the Danish girls, Megan and Mika, and the Finnish girls. They've gotten off to a really good start. It looked like they had a good strategy this morning. Actually, both teams played them the same in practice pretty much. They played them a little further right than I see a lot of the other girls doing this morning, and it seems like that's really paying off. If you look at the lane mapping for the lanes this year, it looks like the gutter is the place to be basically, and the pattern allows you to play out there. So I think the better option is definitely being a little further right than a little further right, and not getting caught trying to use too much angle or playing too far left. I just got a question about the girl from Norway. I just got a question about the girl from... Sorry about the short interruption. Just had to do a quick picture. I got a question about the girl from Norway, and it seems like she is bowling on her own. I'm not sure if the Norwegian Federation sent they probably sent an uneven number of girls, and that's why she's bowling on her own. As far as my knowledge, as far as I know, the ETBF doesn't use pacers in their championships, so if there's not an uneven number from a different country, she's just gonna bowl on her own, so it shouldn't affect her too much, and hopefully she'll do well on her own, get a good score for her overall results today. Looking around the center, it looks like there's quite a few. Looking through the center this morning, it looks like there's a few girls that have gotten off to a pretty good start. One factor that's always hard to to gauge when talking about championships is that it's a championship and you're representing your country, so you're always going to be nervous. And I'm sure we're seeing a lot of girls here that are bowling European Championship for the first time. So the first game of the championships is always a little bit of nerves. Talk about getting off to a good start. Down on 1 and 2, the Swedish girls have really started strong. And of course the Swedes are always considered favorites in European Championships, so wouldn't be surprised to see these two girls put up a good score this morning. The pattern is pattern designed specifically for this championship. It's 39 feet with a 2.7 ratio. So again, it's not gonna be super difficult, but certainly not a house shot either. And walking down to 15-16 again, you see that the Danish girls certainly have put on the striking shoes this morning. Megan starting with the front 5, Mika keeping up with so far a clean game. Finnish girls struggling a little bit, but still off to a pretty decent start. Just to talk a little bit more about the pattern this week. As I said, it's 39 feet, 2.7 ratio. When you look at the pattern, there's quite a few different strategies you can use on it. So it looks like you can do a lot of different things in the pattern and succeed, which is always good on championships because you want all kinds of styles to have a chance. When you combine it with the lane topography here in Aalborg, I certainly think it's gonna be a little bit better to play third or right, play a little bit straighter at least from the beginning, and try not to move left too quickly. And we see Megan from Denmark doing exactly that with the front 6 now, game 1. She's using a strong, very smooth ball, going pretty much straight up 5, 6, 7. So definitely, she definitely have a good look. And then we see the Swedish girls using a little bit more angle, but still getting it out to that area out around 5, 6, 7. Also having a good look, but using balls that turn over a little bit more, a little bit quicker response time balls. And looks like 15-16 is going to be a pretty good pair today. Definitely broke him down the right way in practice. And I see some of the other teams here trying to play a little further left, which will be interesting when they start switching pairs, because there's definitely some pairs that's probably going to play a little tougher and a little easier than others. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the girls solve them this morning. Let's see if Megan can make this split, her first challenge of the day. Oh, and it was close. But again, definitely to me looks like you have to get the ball going out around 5, 6, 7. If you're using a break point further left than that, you're probably gonna have to trick it a little bit to create the same area on the lane that the girls playing further right has. And from then it's just from then on it's just a matter of controlling your ball front to back and making sure that you make the proper moves. I don't think the girls today, I don't think they're gonna have to move their feet a lot, but it's more a question of figuring out when do they have to throw it a little bit harder, when do they have to change their hand position or switch balls to get it through the front of the lane and store enough energy to strike when they start switching lanes and as we progress through the day. An interesting thing with the girls with the lower rev rates that they have and much straighter ankles, they compared to the boys, they create a small, when they break down the lanes, they create a more defined spot on the lane than the boys do, but also a smaller spot. So where the boys break down a much larger part of the lane, so they have to move further left. The girls keep everything much more in the same spot, so they won't have to move as far left as we saw some of the boys yesterday, but they do have to figure out how to control the lane front to back, because they're gonna deal with the fronts and mid lanes burning up, and then a little more carry down than the boys are used to. So challenge for them is probably going to be when they start seeing their balls start to kind of wiggle down lane, which is most likely going to be due to the ball losing energy early on in the lane and then hitting that carry down lane without enough energy to hook. So it's going to be interesting to see what the move is today, if they're going to be able to go to shinier balls and just stay where they are, or if they need to stay with stronger, more dull balls and move off of their spot a little bit and create a little bit more angle. I think both things can work depending on your style and what you prefer, but it's just going to be interesting to see what is going to work out the best. We already have a lot of people in the bowling center this morning. A lot of supporters for the girls this morning. So there's gonna be a lot of noise throughout the day when we get close to figuring out who the finalists are gonna be. Right now I'm behind lanes 9 and 10, watching the Czech Republic and a combined team from Austria and Turkey. No, sorry, Turkey is on lane 8. Yeah, but I'm watching the Czech Republic. Czech as the Eastern European countries have really been getting a lot better the last few years, especially on the girls and women's sides. And although they haven't gotten off to that good of a start this morning so far, but the two Czech girls here really throw the ball well, and when they get the nerves out of their body a little bit and maybe get lined up a little bit better, I think they can post some pretty good games during the week. This squad will also have Team England, Germany. Looks like they have some pretty strong teams this year too. So again, I think it's gonna be a hard match this morning to get to those medal spots. Belgium also seems to be getting off to a pretty decent start. Russia also with a good start. They're a little bit ahead of the other teams. Actually, already in the 10th frame on lanes 11 and 12, and shooting 180 and somewhere between 2.0 and 2.20. So certainly a good start. Looking at lane 9 and 10 again with the Czech Republic, I actually really their first bowler, Anna Petakova. She actually throws the ball really well. Just looks like she's not quite lined up probably. So need to make a few adjustments for the next 5 games here, but she really has a nice shot. So I think if she moves her feet a couple boards to the right and keeps her ankles shut down a little bit more, she can really post some pretty big games here. The lane movement after each game here is going to be everyone on the left lane moves two lanes or 2 pairs left, and the right lanes move 2 pairs to the right. So you're going to be following the same 2 players, same every game, which can be a good and can be a bad thing. Certainly there's going to be some consistency in it, so if you're following someone is playing further right than you, you're probably gonna have a pretty good crossing, because they're gonna be breaking the lanes down right of you, giving you a little bit extra room to miss on. And if you're gonna be following someone that's gonna be left of you, you're probably gonna have to make some adjustments when you move pairs. It's hard to say what the scoring pace is going to be here in the girls' doubles, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a few girls shoot some really good scores, maybe even higher scores than the boys. Just got a question from Selvin from England. If you ever balled EBT where Selvin is balling you, you know who Selvin is. He's the gobble guy. And someone just asked me if it's 1 lane courtesy or 2. I actually haven't noticed it here. I would imagine most of the girls giving each other 2 lane courtesy. But so far I think that the pace of play is pretty decent. Doesn't seem too slow. So so seems like there's a pretty good rhythm right now. Up on 15-16 again. The Danish and Finnish teams are finishing up. They had a breakdown earlier, so they're just a little bit behind. And they actually finished up before I could see the scores, so I'll get back to you on those. But I know they ball some pretty good scores. Just gonna be a little bit slow right now, as the last couple teams are finishing up, and before we get to move pairs. See, Megan shot 254, Mika 213. So they came out of the first game really strong, 467, and in the lead right now. Good start for the 2 Danish girls. Fun fact about the Danish girls is that they actually flew to Copenhagen yesterday to do a live TV interview with our biggest morning news show. Actually, a really cool interview they did. Talking about their bowling and the European Championships here, and then they flew back yesterday. So cool experience for them. Good for for bowling that we're getting some media coverage already before the championships even really get started. So. Hopefully you can keep that going, get a lot more TV stations, journalists, newspapers to cover the championships this year. We're just waiting on. That was the last shot of Belgium, starting 190, 198, which is a pretty decent start. 398 or 388 is certainly one of the better scores this morning, and a score which you can certainly build on. Oh, and sorry, I misspoke. They're moving 2 lanes, not 2 pairs earlier. Sorry about that. We see, I'll get my sheet out here and see who. Try to give you a little bit of an analysis of who's following who. If we start with the leaders, Denmark from this one, or I am pretty sure they're the leaders. They are moving to 13-14 now. Following first game, we had Netherlands and Ukraine on that pair, and it looked like both those teams were playing the lanes fairly similar to the Danish and Finnish girls, so I don't expect Megan and Mika to have a ton of issues moving to this pair, but certainly 15-16 seems to be a really good pair this morning, so they might not have quite as good a reaction, but so let's see what kind of adjustments they make. We got the results from the first game. We have Denmark at 469, Malta at 414, Netherlands at 388, Finland at 386, and England at 381 for top 5. Actually, mange tak. Actually, a little bit the surprise from there is Malta. Malta is not usually a country that we see a lot of in European championships, but I know Malta is also a country that's been working really hard on developing their talented bowlers, and right now it's showing. Remember, tonight we're gonna have both the boys doubles finals and the girls doubles finals on. We're gonna be showing all 4 semifinals and both finals in their entirety. So you're not gonna miss a single ball today in this doubles competition. See Mika here. Looks like she struck, but she was waving it off a little bit. I'm not sure if it was a little bit of a miss or if the ball just hooked a little earlier than she thought. The girls from Belgium are throwing pretty balls with a lot of surface on them, and maybe playing just a pinch further left than the Danish girls were. So so there might be a little more friction than on 15-16. Let's see here what Megan does. Yeah, and then we see what I was talking about. Megan, that looked like to me looked like a pretty decent shot from Megan, but she might be playing using a breakpoint just right of where the Belgium girls were playing. And on 15-16 they had to practice to break that spot down, but it might not have broken down to the same extent over here. So she might have to make a little bit of an adjustment to get her ball back in the pocket. The Russian girls also got off to a good start here. They have lefty and a righty. Lefty started with... Sorry, I can't see her name on the screen right now, but she started with a quick double. And the left side... I don't know if you could hear, but the Swedish girl struck. The left side in all ball usually plays either pretty decent or not very good compared to the right side. I don't think this year with how the topography and how the pattern is, I don't think the left is gonna be at any special disadvantage or advantage. So we could see some pretty good scores from the left side too. And Megan goes high on lane 14, so there might be a little bit of difference between the two lanes too. Maybe lane 14 hooks a little bit more from out. And on 15-16 we have the Swedish girls moving to the pair where the Danish and Finnish girls start, and really, as I said earlier, I think it's probably might be the pair that's been broken down the best in practice. Certainly had some high scores on it, and I think the Swedes should be looking to get a good game out of this. Swedish team consisting of Ellen Ekholm and Emma Lehmann, and they're bowling with the Ukrainian team, Daria Nechetova. Sorry if I mispronounced that. My Russian Ukrainian vocabulary isn't that strong. And Ellen strikes again, as did Mika. So certainly still seeing some strikes here. It looks like it's as long as that the girls that are playing a little further right with their breakpoint and their feet are the ones having the best look this morning. Down the other end of the center on lanes 1 and 2, we have Malta, who's currently in second place, and Finland. And Malta's actually gotten off to a really good start again. They're bowling on the Swedish girls pair, where the Swedish girls started, and they already have 2 doubles in the first 3 frames. So So Malta might be medal contenders this year. Malta's actually playing. First girl from Malta, Raquel, is actually playing pretty far left, but she's not using a lot of angles. She's keeping it really straight, laying the ball down around 16, but not going out further than 9, 10, 11. So that might be a good way to play lanes here too, if you have that little trick to create hope in there. Another girl from Sarah is playing about the same, but she has a little more hand, is using a little more angle. She just left the 4-pin, got the ball out to about 8. She might be trying to use a little more of the same breakpoint as we saw the Danish girls and the Swedish girls doing, just doing it from further left with her feet. Back to 13 and 14, 15, 16, watching the Danish girls and the Swedish girls have to. Those two teams are probably some of the biggest favorites right for a medal in this discipline, especially with the start that the Danish girls got. And we're seeing the tough and good thing about doubles. Last game we saw Megan shoot 250 with Mika shooting 210, and this game we're seeing them flip-flop. Megan's struggling while Mika has the front 5, so they're keeping each other up. But need to see if Megan can figure out a couple good adjustments here. Swedish girl seems to have figured out the 15-16 pretty well, staying clean, getting a few strikes, so now they just need to put some strikes together. Let's see Megan here on line 13. Looks like she switched balls. Not completely sure what she switched to. Looked like she might have moved a little further left and switched to a ball that's a little bit earlier, but also reacts a little more sharply off the friction. So I think what they probably saw is that when she tried to play that outside line she was playing on in the first game, that she didn't have any room to miss right, and her ball wouldn't pick up when she missed right. So they probably tried to move her into about the same areas where Mika's playing, where the Belgium girls were playing, and then use a ball that allows her to create a little bit more angle in there. And as you heard, Ellen from Sweden struck again. See Mika here. Mika with the front 6. It really looks like she has a good look. She's using a little weaker ball. Mika's using a little bit weaker ball. But she also throws it a little bit slower than many of the other girls, so that kind of evens out. Compared to Megan, her feet is a little further left, and she's not using a breakpoint quite as far right. At least compared to game 1. But Megan's starting to move left here, so she might be getting. Yeah, she's about the same area as Mika now. Ball just wiggling a little bit, but at least she got a strike this time. Megan had a really good championship last year. Becoming European champion for the first time in her career, and coming off of that and then starting with a 250 game, it's easy to get a little bit ahead of yourself and trying to basically win the championship day 1. Oh, a little bit of a bad break for Mika there to live in the 4-7-10. Could easily just been a 4-pin, but she'll give it a run and see if she can make this. But back to oh, and a trip forward for Ellen and 15. The Swedish are really putting up a good game so far. Unfortunately, they started out a little bit weaker with a 360 game 1, but they're surely making up for it this game. But with Megan having that good of a start this year and that good of a year last year, it's easy to panic a little bit then when you see a couple opens or your ball is not doing the right thing. So I think she's starting to calm down again now, just getting into the right mind frame and back to throwing good shots. And that chops out the 10 for a double. Looks like she's made the right adjustment now, moving, say probably about 5 boards left, with a little more, with a little quicker ball that allows her to use a little bit more angle, and it looks good now. And the Swedish girls just caught a break, serving a 6-pin for a double, but that's what you need in these championships to get medals. You need your bad shots to not leave you with splits every time. Let's see if Ellen can get her turkey here on lane 16. Looks like a good shot. And just a little high, didn't trip the 4-pin, but easy 9 spare, still pacing 220 with a chance of 250 this game, so certainly off to a good start here in game 2. I'll go down here, take a quick look at Germany, who is actually bowling a pretty good comeback game here. Got off to a really bad start here in game 2, but certainly getting back in it. Fortunately, 10-pin there, but bailing out what could have been a really bad game. Let's see here. Megan unfortunately just had another open, so looking at bad game this game, but she had a really good first game. If you can double in 10th here, she's shooting 160, so it's not especially with Mika still having a chance at 260. So just get this, you made it, and move on. And looks like Mika made a little too big of a move of that split in the 7th frame. On 15-16, the Swedish girls keep striking, so they're moving up the standings pretty quickly here. Good spare by Mika. Looks good. 10-pin. She gave that a little bit more room to the right, and fortunately she left the 10-pin, but she made a good move there. See Megan here. Flush the first one, the 10th. She needs to get a double here, get her 167 and move on to the next game. She's still in a good position. So not anything to panic about. On lane 15 we have Emma Lyman from Sweden trying for a 4-bagger. And she went high, but good break only, getting 9. Easy spare, good game going. And Megan left a stone 8. Unfortunate. 157. Megan's gonna shoot. Which again, it's yeah, one of those games where you're not quite lined up. You have to make an adjustment. And you maybe make that adjustment a little bit too late, and then get a couple bad breaks to make the game a little lower than it could have been. But again, she had 250 the first game, so she's still plus 11, which is a decent score. And with Mika also bowling well, they're certainly in a good position early on here. Good shot by Mika. 10-pin. Spare, she's gonna shoot 230. see, 15. Oh, that one was a little left, and it held for Ellen. So Sweden has a chance to shoot 480 this game, which is probably gonna vault them all the way up to second out. Yeah, to second place if they can strike out this game. Looks good. And both the Swedish girls struck in the 9th frame. I'm just gonna walk down to 1 and 2 and see how Malta is doing, as they were in second place after game 1. Malta's still doing well, shooting 2-0 and a chance at 2-2-teen. So Malta's probably gonna be second or third after game 2 here. Strong start from the little country of Malta. So the Danish girls have 411 and 449 for a combined 860. Let's see the Swedish girls if they can get strike out in 10th here, get to 480 this game. Oh wow! Threw a really good shot, left a stone 8 and had, I think it was the head pin came off the sidewall and hit the 8 pin. Good double. Ellen's actually using a little bit of loft this morning. I don't know if that's her normal game. I think it is, but that also allows her to clear the fronts a little bit better, which, as talked about earlier, when the lanes start breaking down, you have to get your ball through that burned up front mills, and her loft might allow her to do that a little bit easier than some of the other girls. Oh, little left of her hand, but got the first one. She's gonna shoot 230 here and make up for that 160 she had the first game. So Sweden's definitely back in medal contention here, I think. Especially if Emma can get a double in the 10th. Still early though, a lot of things can happen. That one looks pretty good. Got a little bit further right than the last couple ones, and flush. And again, I think 15 and 16 is going to be a really good pair. This squad looks like every time the girls get it missile right, it hooks back. So should definitely yield some good scores during today. Oh, and as I say that, Emma misses way right and misses the head pin, but she's still shooting 220. So the Swedish girls back to plus 20 for the block. A little bit of a, so we saw game 2 here, a little bit of a shake up in the standings, but still some good scores being balled, some and lanes still look very much playable. You see here, Emma's gonna make a ball change on her last shot here. Looks like she's going to a little cleaner, a little weaker ball. Definitely seemed like that one checked a little bit more when it saw the friction and made more of a stronger move. So that might be the ball she's thinking about switching to if the other one becomes a little bit too early. So now we're getting ready to start game 3, and it's probably game 3 is already always an interesting game. You've got 2 games in, so the nerves are probably under control now. But you've got a score now, so you know if you're a little bit behind or a little in front. So you might, this is probably where you start thinking about, all right, we gotta start striking, or gonna if you're off to a good start here the first 2 games, you're thinking about just gotta keep going. It's also game 3 had 2 games on the lane, so they've broken down a little bit, probably to where you kind of have an idea to what's gonna be happening for the rest of the block, and now it's just a matter of getting lined up pair to pair. It looks like the Danish and Swedish girls are lined up pretty, or at least figured out to get close early on here on game 3 when they move pairs. So there's probably not going to be, from here on out, there's probably not going to be a huge difference between pairs. I think they kind of know where they have to play now. So, but it's now it's going to be a matter of if they're going to throw one ball or the other, or to actually strike. And probably whoever makes those adjustments the quickest is going to be the team that shoots the highest score here. I'm gonna walk down to the other end of the building, watch a few of the other teams, and see what we have down on the low end. We have a few good teams down here too. England, Finland. Also have the Ukraine down on 1 and 2. Looking down here in the lower end. Right now there's actually a few girls that throw it pretty well. I just don't think they're lined up as well as, say, Denmark or Malta or Sweden. So they don't have as much room to miss on. It looks like they're using a little more angle and a little shinier balls. So could imagine them starting to bowl some decent scores now when the lanes are starting to create a little, or when there's a little more friction on the lanes, and those shinier balls are gonna pick up better. But they probably had the wrong ball in their hand from the start, which caused some of them to run into more trouble than they needed to. But at the same time, it's a long week, plenty of games to go, and you just gotta learn from every day. I'm watching the Finnish girls. Mariana is still Mariana. I'm not sure, but yeah. I apologize for my pronunciation of names, but again, Mariana is still throwing. Looks like she's still throwing the same ball, strong early ball that she was throwing in the first game. Actually, looks pretty good. Looks like she's moved a little further left, but she's really using a lot of angle, getting the ball out to probably 4 or 5, but with a lot of angle out there. So she's using that early friction that the lane is giving her and the ball is giving her, and then using that smoother ball motion that she has to to get the ball to the friction early without it having it jump off it. And right now it's looking pretty good. It's looking like a decent solution right now. But again, I think what we're seeing here is that some of the girls are using balls that are a little too shiny or a little too quick response, meaning that when they hit friction on the lane, they change direction. They change direction more sharply in a quicker motion, and it looks like those balls are forcing them into either using too much angle or playing too close to the pocket, using a breakpoint too far left. And it's not. I don't think they're necessarily bowling bad, but the ball's not giving the best look they could have. Where you see a girl like Maena from Finland, she's using that slower response time ball, smoother ball, which is really allowing her to use that friction to the right a little bit more and control the ball better. That's also it's a difficult thing if you try to use that slower or earlier ball and you don't quite see it do what you want it to do, you might get fooled into using a little bit too shiny or a little bit too angular ball, if you want to call it that way, and you don't feel like you can go back to the other one, even though that might be the right ball to throw it. See if I have any questions here. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message on Facebook, either to my private page, Thomas Larsen, or to my Facebook, my official Facebook page, Thomas Larsen Bowling. I'll try to keep up with both during the day and answer all the questions that I get. And for those that are just tuning in, this is the girls doubles first squad. They're bowling on a 39-foot kegel pattern. Ratio is 2.7 to 1, so it's not a super difficult pattern, but not an easy pattern either. What we're seeing from the pattern and the topography of the lanes is that it seems like the best place to play under fresh is it's pretty far right and pretty straight. And from then on, you kind of have to follow what everyone else is doing. And it looks like the girls that had the best look on the fresh were playing pretty far right. And as we move into games 2 and 3, they have to move a little left with their feet because of the lanes breaking down, and a couple of the other countries maybe not using a breakpoint as far right as they were. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here next couple games. Just wanna, while I'm down in the low end here on 7 and 8, we have the team of Switzerland, who's obviously working hard, because it seems like their girls are throwing it a lot better than the last time I saw them. So some progress going there, and actually one of their girls, Olivia, has 402 for the first 2 games, which is a really good score right now for the girls. So if she can keep it up, she might be able to have a really good finish in the all events and possibly make the Masters finals. Looks like the Danish girls are lined up pretty well here in game 3. Megan with 1 double through 6 frames, and clean, and Mika with the front 4 and 2 spares. So they are definitely putting their name in the hat early on here. Over on the next pair we have the Swedish girls, and again we're seeing a little bit of the same pattern as we saw when the Danish girls moved from 15-16 to 13-14. Seems like 13-14 are playing a little more difficult and a little different, and the Swedish girls are suffering from that right now with a couple opens. And over on 15-16 we have the team from Malta and Russia, and Malta is still doing well, still pacing about 400 so far, and maintaining their spot near the top here. Malta just got another double there from Sarah, so definitely putting some pressure on Sweden and Denmark. As we see here, I'm gonna focus a little bit on 13-14 with the Swedish girls here, because it looks like Denmark and Malta is pretty well lined up right now. But with Sweden struggling, I'm gonna see what kind of adjustments they make. Haven't had a chance to see Ellen really throw a shot here yet, but to me it looks like Emma is using a ball that is burning up a little bit. It's using too much energy early on. So we saw her on her fill shot in game 2, she switched to a little cleaner, a little weaker ball, and I think that might be the balls that she needs to go to now. Looks like the Swedish girls are seeing a little bit what the same thing as I'm seeing. See, Ellen's gonna make a ball change now. She's going to a shinier ball. She's gonna try to get it down the lane a little bit easier. Let's see here. And that looked pretty good. It's definitely cleaner, but still smooth off the on the back end, so she might be able to get a good finish here and finish off her game strong. Oh, and big split to Malta over on 15 and 16. See here. Yeah, and as I said, Emma is gonna make a ball change now. She's going to that ball. She's going to the ball she used on the fill shot game 2. Let's see. That also looked better. So. Swedes seem to be, looks like there's a little bit of difference from 15, 16 to 13, 14. And the Swedes were a little slow at noticing that, but I think they're getting lined up again now. See, now we have Ellen up on 14. She made a ball change last frame, struck, so now she has a chance at a double. Oh, it's got a little bit of push too, so it's really good. Good move there from Sweden. Let's see Emma here. I look like that actually didn't look like that bad of a shot from Emma, but that ball is a lot more responsive off the friction. So she might have to move a little off the spot where she was playing to in order to use that ball. And she made the spare, so the Swedes struggling a little bit this game, but they have a chance to finish off well here. Over on 11-12, we have Danish girls, and Mika is just striking away. 4-bagger, 9-spare, 9-spare Turkey. And Megan is pacing 2 teams, so they are pulling away from the other countries right now. And as you could probably hear, the Danish supporters like that. And the Danish girls keep striking, so they're definitely putting together a good score here. You see the Swedish girls. And the other top teams here, Malta is bowling a decent game, pacing 180 and 2-0. So nothing big, but they're not hurting themselves either. Sweden is looking at 190 and 150, so they need a couple doubles in the 10th here. Megan shooting 215, so a nice comeback from her 150 game 2. Her and Megan are really bowling well right now. The Ellen here. Good shot from Ellen and a strike. We have Mika. Mika has a chance at 260. That was flush. So Mika by far has the best look in the building right now. So I'm guessing that a lot of the coaches and other girls are gonna start to look at what she's doing. And Ellen left a flat 10, so 192 with a spare for Ellen from Sweden. Okay, that one a little firm, a little too far to the right, but she still shoots 250 here. Annika makes her spare, shoots 256. Now she has 705 for 3 games, which is the best score this morning by far. And her partner Megan has 626. So combined 131 pins over. And yeah, they are leading by a pretty big margin, but still three more games to go. Sweden, Emma from Sweden just managed to get a double here, so obviously they made some good ball changes, and now they just need to finish off well here and move on to the next pair. The good thing for Sweden is that it looks like 11-12 is playing similar to 13-14, but easier. So they probably have they should look to bowl a good score here in game 4. See here if Emma can get another strike here, and she did. That was a good finish for Emma here, saving 170 on what could easily have been 140. A good save for Sweden, and still only about 10 or 20 pins under par, so good chance for them to make a little run here last half of this block. Malta with another decent score, 384, so they're at plus 10, and I think they're still in second place. And now we're ready for game 4 almost. Just waiting for the girls to move pairs and get going. After this block, we're gonna have girls double squad 2. Looks like we have a small breakdown on lanes 9 and 10, so sorry, my bad. 221 for Netherlands for so they're at 12:02 and in 3rd place right now, I believe. Alright, so we're ready for game 4. Let's see, I'm gonna have a updated score. Denmark is in the lead with 13-31. Malta is second with 12-10. Netherlands is third with 12-02, and Sweden is fourth with 11-85. So looks like those are the four main contenders from this squad. Let's just see if they can finish off strong, and then it's all about what. Let's see what Squad 2 can bring. Oh. Let's see. And Megan chops the 310. So let's see Mika here. What her look is gonna be on lanes 9 and 10. 9 and 10 here in Aalborg has a tendency to play a little different than some of the other pairs. So this could be a bit of a challenging game for the Danes. It's still right, but only leaving a 2-pin, so not too bad. Probably just needs to get it back online, not get it quite as far right, and she'll be okay. Let's see here. Second frame on 9 and 10. Megan on lane 9. She went high the first shot. Definitely looks like lane 9 is hooking, which is normal up here. So we're gonna have to make an adjustment, and I don't know what her adjustment is gonna be, but Megan could try to move left off of that shot, and I think that could work. That could probably get her back in the pocket. The only question is she's gonna be able to carry if she makes that move. When you start moving left, you run into the risk of your ankles being too open for your ball to carry. So maybe another adjustment she could make is using more speed and staying where she is, or switching to a weaker, shinier ball that won't hook as much and stay in the same area as she is now. Let's see Mika here. And she sends a messenger to take out the 10 pin. So it looks like Mika made the main adjustment off of Megan's shot, and she went light. So now it's a question of them figuring out how to get their balls to go through the pins when they have to move a little left. Watching Malta a little bit on lanes 13-14. This pair's been giving both Denmark and Sweden a little bit of trouble. So let's see how Malta handles them. They got off to a pretty good start here with 9 spare strike and another 9 here and a double. So they might have figured out what's going on with 13-14. If you watched the shot on lane 12, that was a pretty good trip 2-8. Now we're gonna have Sarah from Malta up. Started this game with double. She throws it really good, so I'm gonna be watching here and seeing what she does right now, and how her look is compared to, for example, Mika. Sarah is a little further left than Mika, but she also has a higher rep rate and more speed, so that makes sense. She's throwing a really shiny ball, but not a ball that's super sideways. So it looks like she's got the lanes pretty well under control, and a good spare there. And the Swedish girls definitely seem to like 11-12 better than 13 and 14. So. Let's see here on 9-10. Back to Megan. She went through the face on a pretty good shot here on lane 9 last ring. Looked like she made a move and went high flush. starting to see Mika. She's still hitting her pocket, but she's struggling a little bit with carry right now. Looks like her ball is it's wiggling a little bit down lane, which means it's not instead of it keep going left, it kind of stops and goes a little bit too straight, which causes that flat 10, for example, that we just saw from her. So she probably needs to make a small adjustment here to get back to striking. She can, and again, there's a lot of different ways she can make that adjustment. She can, she probably needs her ball to be a little bit stronger on the back end. So one thing she could do is just use her hand and increase her rev rate a little bit, or be a little bit more on the side of it. A little more axis rotation will get the ball to save a little bit more energy and hook a little bit more on the back end. That could be an adjustment for her. She could also go with switching balls, or even another adjustment if you don't want to. If you just want to, let's say you want to keep doing what you're doing. Don't change, not changing your ball or not changing your hand or anything. You could also try to just go and try to just change her line a little bit, close her ankles down a little bit more, and let it just kind of jam it into the pocket a little bit more high flush. But Mika seems like she's in control, so I would imagine her making a good adjustment here within the next couple frames. Malta is off to a good start here, and if you compare what Sarah's ball is doing to what Mika's ball is doing, you see that Sarah's ball it keeps going left a little bit more. It continues its path a little bit more than Mika is doing, or some of the other balls are doing, due to her using a shinier ball and having more speed and more rev rate, and that amounts to less pin deflection and thereby a higher carry percentage, which see right now Mika, and I think Mika could make a ball change here, because it looks like, from looking at Megan, it looks like that pair is hooking more, but Mika keeps going light. That tells me that her ball is a little too early and a little too smooth right now. It's losing a little too much energy, which means it can't hook enough. But it's not bad yet. She's still in the pocket. She's still got a chance to strike, so she might just stay with it. But if she would had to try and shoot 250 this game, I think she would have to go to a little cleaner ball, something that might be a little bit shinier and a little quicker, that hooks a little bit more down lane. Ellen just and just got a message from actually a German champion this year from Ingelheim, letting me know that on lanes 12 we have Florentine Weibling, I believe her name is. And she is from Ingelheim. Weiblich, sorry. She's bowling a pretty decent game right now. Clean game. And the Germans might not be in contention for a medal this round, but I'm sure they'll learn a lot from this and take it on with them for the next days. And always wish Florentine and the rest of the Germans good luck. I have had the pleasure of bowling for Ingelheim too. Unfortunately, I couldn't bowl this year, but hopefully I can come back and have some more matches in Germany. And we just saw Sarah from Malta throw a quick messenger to make all the Maltese supporters break out in some kind of song. Not sure what they were singing, but they're sure happy. Yeah, and I just got a question here with regards to the Swedes in game 3 because of their they bowled a bad game, and what happened was they switched from lanes 15 and 16 to lanes 13 and 14. There seems to be quite a bit of difference between those two pairs, and I think they were a little slow with finding the right solution to that. Both of them ended up switching balls in the later half of game 3, and that was the right adjustment for them. So they actually saved their game pretty well compared to what could have been, but they're off to a much better start now here and might be able to come back with a good game. And let's back to Malta here. And a triple. So Malta is really making a good push here. Both of them bowling good games, especially Sarah, who is pacing 230, still has a chance at 279. Just got another question here. There's gonna be 2 girls squads today. This is the first one. The second one comes on this afternoon. And combined from those 2 double squads, there's gonna be 4 doubles moving on to the semifinals. And then number 1 is gonna bowl number 4, 1 game total, and number 2 is gonna bowl number 3, 1 game total, and the 2 winners move on to the finals. So they're bowling for, right now they're bowling for they're bowling for 4 squads to make it into those semifinals and get a medal and a chance for gold medal. There's starting to be a lot of people in the ball center now, so it's a little bit harder to move around. But I'll try to do my best here. Denmark, Sweden, Malta bowling pretty good games here again. Malta really bowling well, and those three teams looks like they're trying to make their move at the medal finals. Again, it's the top four that move on, but we have another squad after this. Right now, Netherlands is also up there, but unfortunately it's struggling a little bit this game. Nothing that a couple quick doubles can't fix. The girls are really striking a lot right now. Got Ellen with a chance for 250 and Sarah with a chance at 279. And the other girls are also shooting good games. I think, as I said when we started here, I think we're going to see some good scores today, and I think we're seeing that the girls are figuring out the transition of the lanes and figuring out what they have to do, and right now it's paying off. Another double for Malta, and they are really putting down the turbo right now. Let's see the Swedes here. We have the Swedish girls on lane 11 for the 10th frame. Ellen has a chance at 250. And she threw a bad shot there, unfortunately, but she didn't leave a washout. So still a simple spare. Let's see Malta here. Malta can shoot Malta can shoot 490 here. It's a huge game, and certainly puts them in good position for medals. And I couldn't see it, but sounded like Megan struck. Let's see. So right now we're seeing 3 teams kind of pull away. But we still have Netherlands in who are staying close thanks to possible 250 games from Denise Blankensee. And Denise got striking a 9, so she's keeping Netherlands in it. And it's hard to say what the score is going to be. Squad 2. You have to think that there's someone who's going to shoot a decent score, but like we saw yesterday with the boys, no one from Squad 2 made the finals, so you never know. And the Danish girls a little bit of trouble this game, 180, and if Mika spares here, she's gonna shoot she's gonna shoot right around 200. So a little bit of a fallback, but they're still I believe that they're still gonna be in the lead. And unfortunately, the Swedish girls hadn't opened in the 10th, so the strike here, they're only going to shoot +8. Unfortunately for them, they had a chance to have a really good score here, but they are still close. Malta is kind of running away with it this game. 2-11 and 2. Let's see what Sarah, if Sarah can strike on her last shot here for 279. And she did. That flush like all the rest of them. 279 for Sarah from Malta. That puts them at 100 over, just 10 pins behind the Danish girls, and in second place, solidly in second place. So after 4 games, we have Denmark leading, Malta in second. Then there's a little bit of a jump down to third place, which I believe is still gonna be the Netherlands. Denise keeps striking. Netherlands keeps, which means they managed to ball a decent game here again. Let's see if Denise can get the last one here. And close. 240. And she 247 for Denise. And so big game there. Netherlands stays at just over par, which is gonna place them in third, I believe. Yes, third, with the Swedes about 20 pins behind them in fourth. Let's see when they move here.
Det är så jävla kallt ute nu, så nu får man ju...
Getting ready for game 5, and we're gonna have the Danish girls on lane 7 and 8, which is a pair that usually can be a little tricky up here because 7 and 8 plays different between themselves, so they have to make a quick adjustment here and make sure they don't try to they probably can't do exactly the same. They have to make a small adjustment between lane 7 and 8, so let's see if they can get off to a good start. Sweden is on lanes 9 and 10, where we just saw Danes have a little bit of issues. It looked like lane 9 hooked a lot more than lane 10. And on 11 and 12 we're gonna have Malta, who's currently in 2nd.
Ja, vänster blir. Jag vet vad nu vet jag var donken ligger. Det är ju bara att följa den långa gatan. Sist det luktar gammal stekkorv. Då vet vi att det har kommit rätt.
And Sweden starts off with a strike here, so looks like they might be close. Making starting out with a 9 spare. Looks like Sweden is made a good move here when moving pairs, and see if they can keep striking on lane 10 too. We got Mika on lane 7, and again looks like that ball was just a little too smooth. It's a little weak down lane, and I think she could switch to something a little bit quicker now. Especially consider when you see when we just saw Sarah from Malta shoot 279 using a shiny and a little bit quicker ball. Let's see what Sarah. I think that was a bad shot from Sarah, just missed left, and but got 9. And Mika made the split. So it's good spare from Mika there. A little bit fortunate 9 from Ellen there, just a bad shot, she missed left, and a nice and easy spare here. On 9 and 10 with the Danish girls, we have the Finnish girls, and they're actually not that far behind. They're only 60 under, which is only 50 pins. behind Sweden, who's in 4th. So if the Finnish girls can find a way to get a couple big games here, they might be able to threaten the top 4. Great shot from Emma there. Managed to start off this game with double, and Swedes need to put together some strikes now. They're in 4th right now, and they need to get some good games here to give themselves a chance at making the medal round this evening. It looks like Mika is trying to use her hand a little bit more, trying to maybe get around the ball a little more to make it hook a little bit more on the back end. But I'm not sure if that ball is the right one. Let's see if Emma can keep it going on lane 9 and get a turkey. Good shot. Good shot. This looked like she got it just to that wiggle spot down lane and didn't quite finish. And again, we see Mika there throwing a good shot and leaving a flat 10. She's bowling really well right now. I'm seeing she's not really throwing any really bad shots. So physically, she's throwing it really well. I just think she is throwing a ball that is a little more safe than what she needs to do. I know she struggled a lot with that ball early in the block here, and that's probably why she's sticking with it and trying to kind of micromanage it to make it work. But I think the right move would be taking a chance at going with a different ball here, seeing if you can shoot 230 or 240 again, rather than trying to micromanage and shoot 2-0, 210. Over on lanes 5 and 6, we have Netherlands 2 starting out clean game so far, both of them. Netherlands is currently in 3rd place. So again, they're kind of in the same boat as Sweden. They need to bowl well here the last couple games. Need to bowl a couple good scores to give themselves a chance at that top 4. (11-12). We see Sarah actually having a little bit of an issue here, now leaving a split, and looks like she just threw 3 not so good shots. Might have been a little excited after the last game and just not quite focused well not yet, but also looks like that she doesn't have quite the same reaction as she did on 13-14. So 11-12 might be a little bit tighter or a little bit cleaner, and that might make her ball just get down a little too far. I see her coach talking to her about her push away a little bit, so she might just be getting a little bit quick with everything, and that's forcing her to kind of miss a little right and left, and throw her ball a little through the friction a little bit. And Denise from Netherlands just had a double again. She's playing really well today too. I think she has about 880. So again, another good score. And we're seeing so far, quite a few girls that has scores that compares to the boys' scores. And I think that the pattern and how the topography is here kind of evens it out, where the way that the girls break down the lanes, they're making them pretty good for themselves. So I'm not surprised to see the girls shooting good scores here. See Mika here. She's sticking with the same ball, and now she had a split. I'm not sure. It looked like she might have moved it a little right on that one, and I think she's just she might be seeing it a little bit wrong. I think she might be seeing her ball be a little too weak, and that's why it's going wide for her, not striking. And but I think it's a little too early. It's a little too smooth. So yeah, now we're gonna have a ball change here. Netherlands are looking really solid right now. Clean game and a turkey. So looks like they want one of those top 4 spots. Watching Sarah from Malta here on lane 11. She threw a really good shot there. Looked like she didn't get it quite as far right as the other shots, so she probably fixed what was going on physically, so she's throwing better shots again now. But she's not striking, so to me it looks like that the ball she's throwing on 11-12 is just a little too clean. She needs it to pick up a little bit more. And if you can do that, that'll make that'll help her strike more again. Another strike for Emma. See Mika here. I think she made. Yeah, that's ball change. Let's see what it does. I don't have the best look on to see. Looked like she went to a ball with a stronger cover, stronger core, but also a newer ball. Not sure if it's more surface or less surface than the one she was using, but definitely stronger cover, stronger core, fresher ball, and moved, I would say, about 3 or 4 boards left, and just let it hook more, and it looked pretty much perfect. So a little stronger ball, a little cleaner ball, a little more back end, and just got away from that spot where she was kind of stuck in. Also looked like Megan's gonna make a ball change here. A double for the Swedish girls. It's interesting because now we've got the girls in 3rd and 4th position that are actually looking like they have a pretty good look this game, and then we have the girls in 1st and 2nd that are struggling. So could see the top 4 tighten a little bit and that would make for a really exciting last game where we could see some teams flip-flop. Good shot by Emma there to double again. Let's see here. Sarah from Malta is struggling a little bit, but Raquel has a chance of double here. Be good for her to get the team back on track. I think it's the 2 girls from Malta are probably a little nervous right now because they know they're in a good spot for the top 4, and that's probably not a position that they've been in a lot of times. So that might be a little make them a little nervous. And we just saw Mika lead 3-6-10. That's when you go from a ball that's a little too slow to a quicker ball. That's what you really have to make sure that you get the ball to the right, because all of a sudden you have something that'll actually hook, and with a little bit too slow ball you get used to your misses having to be in and the ball not hooking, and all of a sudden you have a ball that they'll actually hook, so now you have to miss right instead. Netherlands bowling very solid. Sweden just got another strike, so looks like going into to game 6 here. We're gonna have top 4 that consists of Denmark, Malta, Netherlands, and Sweden. But in which order is kind of hard to say right now. Oh, and 4 through the nose in for Emma. Now we had the ball change from Sarah from Malta. It looked like she went with a so Sarah made from Malta make a ball change here. You think she went with a little bit stronger ball, a little more surface on it, and it picked up better, but it might have been a little too much surface, so it didn't quite finish. We got Mika again. And just as an information, when game 6 is over here, when game 6 is over for this block, we're gonna be shutting off the stream, and if you want to follow again, we're gonna start up again at, I think it's 13:15, but we're gonna start up at 3 different channels, so you're gonna have to use the links just below the links you used right now. I'm sure you'll be able to find it, just to make sure that you know that we're gonna be shutting down and opening up later for squad 2. Back to the action here. Right now, the Netherlands actually bowling the best game this game, and they're not doing anything really big, but they're staying out of trouble and have a few doubles, while the other teams are have a few splits in there. So it looks like Netherlands are going to be in good position going into the last game here. And a good break for Sarah there. I think she switched balls again. Not sure what she switched to, but she moved right and tried to play further out. And I don't think that was the right adjustment, but she got away with it and got a strike. See, Mika here, definitely like she has lane 7 hooking more for her. I think she's missing a little left, but it's also picking up a lot more than the lane 8. She made the ball, but she's made the ball change now. She's so hopefully she's lined up for game 6, and gonna give all of the Danish fans something to cheer about. 194 for Ellen from Sweden. Just got another question here. Who do I think is gonna make the score for the girls? Hard to say. I haven't seen the second squad yet, but I definitely like the Danish girls' chances. They have a good score already, and I think with the adjustments they're making this game, I think they're gonna have a chance at shooting a good game, the last one here. So I like their chances. Unfortunately, Malta is really struggling this game, but they also had the first 4 games were really good for them. So I think if they can figure out and shoot a good game here in the last game, I think they have a good chance too. Then we have another. Then we had the Netherlands, who are actually putting themselves in good position for the last game here. So I like those 3 teams' chances. Sweden they had a chance this game, but they just didn't quite take advantage of it. So now I think they need a pretty big last game to have a chance. Then of course there's another Swedish double. There's another Danish girls doubles. There's another Finnish. There's another run from Netherlands. I'm not sure who is exactly bowling from each country, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple good scores from squad 2 too. On the boys' side, it's hard to say. Seems like it's 4 pretty evenly matched doubles that made the finals. So it's gonna be a question of who handles their nerves the best and who figures out the pair that they're bowling on. I have to say, probably my small favorites is probably gonna be the Finnish doubles, just because I think they have more experience than the other boys doubles, and I think they can use that to their advantage. So let's see here. We have a pretty tight top 4 right now. Unfortunately for Malta, they bowled a bad game here, but still in the running with plus 22. Netherlands unfortunately had an open in the 10th frame and a lane breakdown right now, but they're going to shoot somewhere between 400 and 420. So they have a chance to actually go around Malta, and take the second spot. Danish girls are still in second despite not bowling the greatest game here, but It's gonna be really tight here. We are just waiting on lanes 5 and 6 being fixed, so the Ukrainian girls and the girls from Netherlands can finish their 10th frame, and then we're gonna be back with game 6. Good spare from Denise from the Netherlands there. He's gonna shoot 213 with a strike here, and that's gonna put Netherlands at about plus 20. So they're gonna be pretty much even with Malta going into the last game here in second and third place. Sweden is gonna be about 40 behind, I think, and Denmark about 40 or 50 ahead of Malta. So very close finish here, and I think all four girls doubles needs a pretty good game here to feel safe going into squad 2. And we're getting ready to finish up here, game 5. So just a few moments and we'll have game 6 going. Alright, so we're ready for game 6, last game. We have a standing. Denmark is in the lead with plus 61. Malta is in second with plus 22. Netherlands is in third with plus 13. And score sheet just switched, but the Swedes are in fourth and they have, just a moment, minus 30. So for the Swedish fans out there, Sweden is 90 behind the leaders and 40 out of third place, currently in fourth place. So let's see who can bowl some good games here. Malta started with a strike. At this point, it's a matter of who can control their nerves the best. They're bowling. At this point, all 4 doubles know they have a chance at getting a medal for their country. A lot of them, it might be their first medal at the championship. So who can control their nerves, make good shots, and then who can figure out the lanes. Still have a little mechanical issue on 5 and 6. Let's see. But it looks like Looks like the Swedish girls are in a tough spot. Just started with an open here. They need a good game to catch up to the other teams. I'd say they probably need 440 or 450 to 420. Yeah, if they're lucky, 420, 430 might be enough to move up a spot. But they need to bowl a pretty good game here, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like they have the best look. But let's see if they can make some good adjustments. Netherlands in third. They are a little far away from me. A lot of people there, so I can't really get a good look. But it looks like they have a pretty solid look. Good idea what their ball is doing. So see if they can throw enough good shots to put together a good score. Malta, who's in second, just they look a little uncertain of what to do, and that's never a good thing. That definitely makes you a little bit more nervous. Plus, they're probably a little nervous knowing that they just bowled a bad game and they're bowling for a medal. So so we'll see if they can figure it out here and bowl well. And Raquel almost made the 3-10 split. Unfortunately, that's an open for Malta. And probably another open for Sweden, and it's early, but they're really in a tough position to in order to get to that third spot right now. The good thing for Sweden is that they are pretty solid in fourth place, which means they might have that they can still have a chance. They can have a chance going into squad 2, but you probably want to be at least third going from this squad. And Mika makes a spare, so does Sarah. See Megan here. Megan goes high for a split. Looks like a lot of the girls right now are kind of caught in between. They're, I think the lanes have transitioned to where they can't really play them as straight as they did early on, but at the same time they can't move left. They can't really move too far left either, so it looks a little tricky right now. It looks like I still think a lot of them are throwing. I think some of them are throwing a little too dull balls for right now. I think they would be better off throwing a little shinier balls, a little weaker balls. And kind of trying to get it through that spot and let it kind of let it roll off the friction. Not sure if Mika made a ball change again there. Definitely didn't look like it. It was quite a strong. And from Malta, Sarah looks like she has a better look again now that might be a little more friction on 9 and 10. If she starts striking again, we've seen that she can throw long strings, so maybe she can bowl a big game here and get Malta into that medals round with a little luck. And Sweden is Sweden's really struggling right now. Ellen had open in the first two, and then she leaves the 7-10, which is just rubbing salt in an open wound. And fortunately for Sweden, this is probably gonna be it for them. They are probably still gonna be in fourth after this squad, but I don't think that's gonna be enough to actually make it into the medal round. Making strikes, so it looks like all the girls are kind of trying to figure out what they have to do. And great shot by Raquel there. Malta actually looks pretty calm. They didn't look too phased by trying to win a medal here. And that's good. So I'm sure they're nervous on the inside, but it's good. Looks like they're just trying to make good shots and put up a good score here. See, Sarah has a chance for a double here, which would be really big if she can get that. Good shot. And just, oh, high flush. Definitely looks like there's a little more friction on 9 and 10, and that helps Sarah. Let's see here. So right now through 3 frames we have Denmark is still in the lead but not pulling away. Malta is off to the best start. Malta is up to the best start, so consolidating their second place, but Netherlands is just behind them, and Sweden is unfortunately off to a rather bad start. So they need a lot of strikes if they want a chance at the top 3. And doesn't look like they have any idea of what they need to do on 7 and 8, fortunately. And Mika just threw a double, so obviously she's getting closer again. Bowled very, very well the first 3 games, and then I think she stuck with the ball she was throwing for a little bit too long, and seems like she's figuring it out. And Raquel has made the 310. It's big spare for Malta. A big strike for Megan there. But the big goal for Danish girls here is obviously staying in first place. I think if they stay in first place, they're not gonna fall out of the medal round. But at the same time, even if you're in first place, you also want a good score, because you want to make it difficult for the girls in squad 2 to overtake you. Oh. And that one just overhooked for Sarah. I think Sarah could probably just make a small move with her feet to the left, maybe just 2 boards or something, and she'd be good to go again. Mika just had turkey. I think she's stuck with that stronger ball she switched to in game 5, and looks really good right now when she's starting to get adjusted with it. Let's see if Megan can get a double here. Looks like a good shot. Needs to hook. And blower 7. Let's see the Netherlands. Looks like this is gonna be so far it's gonna be a fight between the Netherlands and Malta for 2nd and 3rd place. Alright, so looks like a fight for 2nd place between Netherlands and Malta, and right now Netherlands is winning that match. Let's see here. 4 frames to go. Malta needs a good finish here. Malta's just not quite getting there, and Netherlands just had another double, so looks like Netherlands right now is going to be in second, with the Danish girls being in first, and then Malta is going to be in third. And an open frame for Malta, unfortunately. It's gonna hurt their chances. They need a little bit of help from the Netherlands right now. See Sarah if she can put a double up. Good shot on 10 pin. See the Netherlands. Netherlands can still catch Denmark. Let's if they keep striking. Let's see, big shot here for Mika. Looks close and got it, double. So let's see Netherlands here. Good shot, looks like, and she got the turkey. Got the turkey. So right now we have Denmark pacing 390 this game. They were 50 pins ahead of the Netherlands, who is pacing right now is pacing 410. So they've picked up 20 pins. Then you have Malta, who's unfortunately struggling and falling behind Netherlands. They need to rally and make a good finish here to put up a good score and make it as hard as possible for the second squad to catch them. And a big shot for the Netherlands here. They have a chance to pick up another 10 pins on the Danish girls here. Looks a little left. And is that 8 or 7? That's a split, unfortunately. And Sarah from Malta struck. So 2 more frames to go. They can still bowl a decent game here. So let's see, if Mika strikes here, she can pretty much lock him into first place. And she did. So with 1 frame to go for the Danish girls there. About 50 pins ahead of Netherlands. Let's see here, Megan in the 10th frame. It's a good shot, move left off the last one and struck. Well, let's try to do the math here. They can shoot 432. That would mean that Netherlands would need 480. and they can get to 469. And so looks like the Danish girls have pretty much locked up first place. Just a matter of how many pins they get with them. Megan, nice double from Megan there. So Danish girls, Megan and Mika, are gonna be in first place. Gonna have Netherlands in second place. And Malta in third place. Unfortunately, Malta is gonna fall back a little bit. So their score is unfortunately not gonna be as high as they would have hoped for. But at least being in third, you still have a chance to make the final medal round. All right. 187 for Megan. Big double in the 10th frame. Let's see Netherlands here. Looks like a better shot. A little light. Alright, it looks like a 9. Another strike from Mika. So it was a good ball change she made. She made the ball change. Took her a few shots to get adjusted to the different motions with that ball, and but she sure when she got it, she started striking again, and this is a pretty big gain for her. She's of course they're gonna be in first place for the doubles so far, but she's also gonna be, I think she's gonna be the highest scoring girl in this squad, so she's putting herself in a good spot for the all events too. And 7 pin for Mika. 230 this game for Mika. So Mika is gonna shoot 17 over, I think. Really nice score. And that's gonna put her in the lead for all events so far, I believe. So it looks like Denmark is going to be in first. That one is decided already. They have plus 79. We're going to have Netherlands in second, but they're not done yet, so don't know their score. I have Malta in third. And Sweden in fourth. When the girls are done here in a couple moments, we're gonna shut off the stream. We're gonna come back for squad 2. You can find the links on the live stream website. It's not gonna continue on the same channel. We're gonna shut down the channel and open up a new one. and we're gonna try to get an interview with the Danish girls before we start squad 2. So tune in. Sarah from Malta unfortunately didn't strike on the second shot in the 10th, so she's gonna shoot 190 here, 191, and Malta is gonna be third with 23.71 minus 29. Nice bowling today, good score. If it's gonna be enough for the medals, we'll just have to wait and see. And just waiting for the Netherlands to finish up. Actually, Malta. Let's see here, Netherlands. Bodine just made her 9 spare, which puts her in the 190s. They needed 360, about 360 to go around Malta and get into second place. And unless something weird happens to Denise, they're gonna get there. Strike on the fill shot. But this is a pretty big shot for Denise. She needs to put as many pins up there as possible to make it as hard for the second squad to catch them. And Denise struck the first shot. So Netherlands are gonna be second, Malta is gonna be third, and Sweden is gonna be fourth. Alright, so Denise finish up here. She's got double in the 10th. She's gonna shoot 2-0, and Netherlands gonna be second with right about even. We're gonna, as I said, we're gonna shut off after this, and then we're gonna be back right around 1 o'clock with an interview with the Danish girls Megan and Mika, and it's gonna be on channel 2, and after that the stream is gonna resume with squad 2. Alright, so the Netherlands finish up at plus, let's see, +5, I believe, in second place. So Denmark in the lead, Netherlands second, Malta third, Sweden fourth. I'll see you back at 1. Interview is going to be on channel 2, and then after that we'll resume with squad 2 of girls doubles.